Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.wordpress.com, back again here with another Ferrero Friday project, and this time it's a box using the new Eastern Palace Thinlits, and it's an explosion box, but it's a shallow one rather than a deep-sided one. So it just holds 4 Ferrero, and then the lid slides on. A good snug fit, obviously you don't want it popping open like so, and you'll see I've used the Eastern Palace designer series paper here and some of the new Tranquil Tide in colour as well. So it's quite a quick and straightforward box to do, and just a little bit of time with the die cutting. So to start off with, I'll show you what I did with the dies. This is the die set here. And to say, it's called Eastern Medallions Thinlits, and the beauty of this is that you can actually mix and match the different pieces to give a different medallion. So you'll see on this one here I've used this outer one, and I used this one here and the inner one, and then for the second one, to give you an idea, I hope you can see that there, I've used the same outer one, but I've used a different inner two pieces, and obviously you don't have to cut out the middle section if you don't want to. And as you can see, this outer one doesn't cut all the way around, so if you just wanted an aperture, it's already there. And if, as I want to, you want to use it as a freestanding medallion, so almost like a doily, then you quite simply just snip through those outer corners and you're all done. And they cut beautifully. I mean, I've used my magnetic plate to cut these, but they really do cut well. You'll see that when you die cut, you'll see on this there's a few little pieces left in, and all I do then is I use my die brush on the foam, just brush that over, and all those little pieces just pop straight out, and that's clean and ready to use. So very simple, straightforward to use. I keep mine in a case because then I can just shake the pieces out at a later time. So that's our die cut, and what I've done is I've die cut a circle to go behind that, which is going to go on that section there. And all I'm going to do is just dot around the edge with my Tombow glue, and on strategic points just all the way around. Just little bits like so. Obviously you could use a detailed glue if you've got it. You could use our fine tip glue, whichever you prefer. Obviously if you're using Tombow, just make sure you don't put too much on, but just a few little dots, and then position your very vanilla circle on the back there like so. Just press it down, and I'll just leave that to one side now, and that just shows, that makes the centre part to just stand out a little bit more. Obviously there are quite a few little tiny dies in here, so I do keep them on a magnetic sheet, and as you can see, those just slide back into the pouch, so I'm not going to lose any of those tiny pieces. So on with the box construction then. So to start off with, we're going to do our base. I'm going to do the measurements in centimetres. I have done them in inches, but I haven't actually made one in inches, so I haven't had a chance to make sure that it is absolutely right. So I'll give you the in inches, but it comes with a health warning that I haven't had a chance to make one up. So you start off with your base, and I'm going to do it in the reverse colour, so I'm using the Dapper Denim for the bottom, at 14 centimetres, and you're going to score at 3.5 on all 4 sides. So I'm using my Stampin trimmer here, so 3.5 on all 4 sides. And once you've done the 4 sides, you're going to line it up diagonally, and you're just going to score those diagonals like so. Again, you could use a ruler to do those if you wanted to, but as you put your trimmer out, I find it just as easy to use my trimmer. So you'll have something that looks like that, which hopefully you can see. Okay, so when you've done that, you're going to make your lid, and the lid, I've got a piece of card, oh, the base was 5.5 by 5.5, score at 1 3/8. The lid is 18.2 by 18.2, so that's 7.25 by 7.25. And you're going to do 2 score lines on each side. The first is at 2.5, so if you score at 2.5, and then at 5.5. And you're going to repeat that on all 4 sides. So it's probably easy to line it up this side actually, although obviously usually I do the shorter one, 2.5 and 5.5, and that would be 1 inch and 2 1/8 of an inch. Two and a half and 5.5, and then the last side, 2.5 and 5.5. Okay. And when you've done that, you'll see with our score lines, well, I'm just going to go through and reinforce those using a bone folder. Just a quick whistle round. And then come in with your scissors and cut away the outer 3 squares on each side. And when you do this one, just cut at a slight angle. Not very much, doesn't have to be massive, but that's going to help it fit in better on the inside of your lid. So just a small angle on those. And I say it's these outer 3 squares on each one. So when you finish, you should have a piece of card that looks like this. You're then going to come in and on each of these tabs, cut up to the centre and cut away to create a tab. Rotate it round and do the same on the next side and repeat. So straight down and then cut a sliver off. Okay. So once you've done that, you're going to use some glue. I'm going to use my fuse because we're doing 3D construction. Flip it over and fold all your tabs in, and you're going to come down and just very gently along the edge, and you can do 2 bits if you want, but you go straight and just tick at the end. And then I'm going to do the same on the outer tab. And the trick with fuse is don't be tempted to press too hard, just nice and gently and a little tick at the end. So having done that, construct your box by lining up the corners, and I always do my 4 corners first because then you get a really good neat finish when you tuck in your flaps, because each of these flaps is going to trap one of those tabs. So fold in as we go around, and then as we've done before, reinforce those with your bone folder to get a nice crisp finish. So that's our box lid. We're then going to decorate it, and obviously decoration is much easier when it's done flat, which I haven't done this time. I wanted to get the box lid done, but I've already created a layer for the top, which I've used my Dapper Denim and some of the Eastern Palace DSP, and I've used a piece on the top which is just under 6.5 by 6.5 centimetres, which is it's 2.5 by 2.5 inches, and then 2.25 by 2.25 for the DSP, so 6 by 6 centimetres. And as my fuse is on hand, I'll just use that to pop that in place on the top there. Then I've created 4 panels for the side, and those are The card is 2.5 by 6.5, so that's 1 by 2.5 inches, and the DSP is 2 by 6 centimetres, so 3/4 inch by 2.25 inches. And with those, I've already put a bit of tear and tape on the back there, just to help with those. And as you can see, just literally pop those up. As I said, it's really easy to do it when it's flat, but as you can see, it doesn't matter if you don't, because you can easily do it when it's constructed as well. And obviously you could use fuse, or you could use your snail to attach this as well, because it's just flat surface. So there's our box lid. We now take our medallion that we've got here, and with your dimensionals, just take a dimensional, and you're only going to need one. Just pop it on the back and attach to the top like so, and that lifting it up just gives it a little bit of dimension, a bit of shadow, makes it really attractive to the recipient. Now, to make the base to hold our Ferrero, just fold and score those score lines on the piece of card that we scored earlier. And for these corners, once you've scored them, you're going to come in with your scissors and just literally cut straight across diagonally. So just from corner to corner, and that just gets rid of some of the bulk, so that it makes it fit together more easily. And as you fold those up, you'll see you can just tuck those. And if it's not quite lying quite square, just pinch it in like so. Then all you need to do now is pop your 4 Ferrero into the middle, squeeze up the sides, and I find I tend to squeeze them a little bit more. Pop one edge of the lid in, squeeze a little bit like so, slide in, and there you have a 4 Ferrero explosion box full of Eastern Palace elegance. That's lovely papers and lovely colours with these new ones, and they are available right now. They've been released early, so literally if you want to get some of these gorgeous papers and card, you can order it as a bundle. And in fact, if you order the big bundle, which includes the dies, if you just spend £5 more, you could actually join Stampin' Up as a demonstrator and get an extra £30 worth of items. So literally for £99 you can get the whole of the Eastern Palace suite, plus another £35 worth of Stampin' Up goodies, and that can be clearance rack, or it can be anything you like. Please do get in touch if you want to find out more. Come and join my team of Flutterbuys, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.